Yeah, I put on my makeup like an animal. When I modeled, I did it this way. It's just easier. Welcome. You guys get ready with your lapel mic on too, right? Okay, so I unironically have one of these headbands. So today we are going to be combining two great things, AG Tube and the classic Get Ready With Me video. I have a ton of filming to do the next couple weeks, including today. And I thought, why don't we go ahead, chat about the new releases, the upcoming Girl of the Year, all that stuff, while I put on my filming makeup to go work on my Megan Maroney video essay, which has been a lot. Let's get into it. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Michelle. I am an artist, writer, and lifelong toy collector. And here on the channel, we talk about the intersection of my special interests, toy collecting, and storytelling. So if you're into that, make sure to subscribe for more videos. Let me pull up my notes. Yes, I know it's a getting ready with me video, but I still have notes. I'm still me. This, by the way, is something that I've always wanted to do for the channel because, like, I like the idea of pulling more and more traditional YouTube elements into the channel. I like to see how all of the things that we see on normal YouTube commentary videos still intersect with AGTube because pop culture and politics, which again, it's all storytelling. First of all, if you saw my office tour, you know this is my wicked makeup bag. This is all of my makeup in the entire world. To some people, that's an incredibly low amount. To some people, that's a lot. I think it's just right. I don't wear a lot of makeup when I leave the house. Most of my makeup is for when I'm filming. Not because I'm like, oh, can't let you see my face, but just because filming lights are really, really harsh. Otherwise, I would just blend in with the wall. I always try to make sure that the products that I use are not tested on animals. That's a really important thing to me. I'm going to switch my hair over to the side and hope that it doesn't come in contact with my mic. Okay, so as far as makeup, I always try and make sure that I use things that aren't tested on animals. There are a couple products that I'm still using up that it turns out their companies do sometimes test on animals. Yeah, so I still want to make sure that I use them up, but then I'm going to be replacing those. The cruelty-free company that I like the best is Physicians Formula. So I've already washed my face. I put in my contacts. Now I have to remember where my makeup is because I haven't filmed in like 2 weeks. This is basically stage makeup. Sorry, let's get into the AG of it all. So right now, AG is already doing their holiday releases, which is a little crazy. I mean, I know they release their holiday stuff pretty early. For parents, it makes sense, right? Like parents need to be able to shop early. But for adult collectors, I think it kind of sometimes sends people spiraling because they feel like they're expected to buy right away. And that's not the case. But American Girl already released their Halloween stuff. I think I saw it on Amazon about 2 weeks before it ended up on the American Girl website. And it was the same price and everything. I think sometimes, whatever agreement they have with American Girl, sometimes they actually do have first access to the Truly Me products. Now, American Girl is doing this like 40 days of surprises, and it kind of has people spiraling a little bit. I guess at first people thought that it was going to be 40 days of releases. I understood when I read the announcement that it was not 40 days of releases. It was going to be 40 days of essentially interacting with the community. Some of that was going to be releases, some of it was going to be other things. The 40 days started on Monday and is going to go all the way through October 2nd. October 2nd is the second day of the 2027 fiscal year. So basically, this is them ramping up all of their sales and engagement before the end of the fiscal year. I haven't looked at their quarterlies for 2026, but I can imagine that with all of the problems we've been having in the economy, that it hasn't been good for them. So it makes sense that they're trying to engage as much as they can at the last second. Yeah, I put on my makeup like an animal. I've always done it this way. When I modeled, I did it this way. Yeah, I've always just put on my makeup like an absolute animal because it's just easier. So the first item that American Girl released for the 40 days was the Hannah Anderson collab for this year. And that's just the pajamas. Honestly, I don't like them at all. I think it's very bad design from just like an artistic principle. Like the colors are not complimentary at all. I don't like it. If you like it, that's great. And I love you for that. Like I want people to like the releases, but it is not for me whatsoever. Additionally, like if you want Christmas pajamas, they still have like 4 years of different Christmas pajamas available in the clearance section. The women's pajamas from before I started collecting, so maybe like 7 years ago, are still in the clearance section. So there's, yeah, I think they released adult pajamas last year with Hannah Anderson, I didn't like those either, honestly, but like basically for me, last year's were too busy, and this year's just the colors are really not it for me. But again, if you love it, that's great. But if you just want holiday pajamas, they still have like 3 or 4 years of holiday pajamas in the clearance section on the American Girl website. So that is an option. So don't feel like you have to buy the new thing just because it's new. Like these collabs are pretty expensive, and honestly, like I don't think they're that cute. I'd rather get pajamas from Old Navy or Gap or something like that than the American Girl ones. Like you can find American Girl coded ones. I got these cute ones with hair bows all over them last year, and that's one of my favorite pairs of pajamas. I just wore it the other day because it got cold enough for me too. But that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. So again, the first day was the Hannah Anderson pajamas. The second day, people thought it was going to be a historical release, and they were really disappointed when they found out that it wasn't a historical release. It was a giveaway for a historical doll. And a lot of people in the community were upset that it was a giveaway. I have, I don't like wearing lip products, but I have a scar right here and it looks sort of odd on camera. So I like to cover it up with a lip pencil that is very close to my natural lip tone. To me, filming makeup is just supposed to be making yourself appear like you do in person on camera because lights are really, really harsh. So I never use like filters or anything on my videos or in photos. I think it's bad for people to consume augmented images of other humans. So I promised myself, like, I think it was back in 2020, that I would not take part in that. So regardless of aging and wrinkles and grays and stuff like that, I don't do it. I know sometimes my videos look like I have a filter on. It's not me. It's that YouTube, my new camera, YouTube specifically has a problem with that camera and processing the videos. So it's a back end issue on their part, and I'm not replacing my camera just for that. I can't see very well. I'll be honest, between this lighting and me having my contacts in, I can't see anything. So I just touched up in the bathroom. I usually do my makeup in my tiny little bathroom, which I am certain used to be a closet. Uh, so we're trying something new. I've never done my makeup in this mirror before, and the mirror is actually on an antique dresser. So it's not a very good mirror. But you know what? We do it all for the channel. So anyway, but getting back to the releases, I just say, like, if you want cute new pajamas, get them from someone who actually has cute new pajamas. I just don't like these. Again, if you like them, fantastic. I want people to like things. I just really, this release is not for me. So day one was the Hannah Anderson pajamas, and then day two was the giveaway for historical doll. People were upset about that because they wanted historical items to be released, but you know, a giveaway is a nice thing, especially for people who can't otherwise access an American Girl doll. My complaint with giveaways in the community, and part of why I don't do them, is because I have seen people on American Girl Instagram enter giveaways and then win doubles of dolls that they already have. In my opinion, if you already have the thing, you should not be asking for a free version of it when it could go to someone who actually can't afford that thing. I liked the idea of a historical doll giveaway. Other people didn't. They wanted clothing releases. I think we're still going to get those clothing releases. There's like a lot of doom and gloom right now in the comment section that, you know, basically there's a lot of naysaying from adult collectors that, oh, we're not going to get the releases that we want and whatnot. And I understand that to a degree, but also we're 2 days in. Like, it's okay to calm down. It is okay. Like, I think American Girl has already done a lot more um, like giveaways and things for the 40th anniversary than most people were expecting. I had said at the beginning of the year when they released the modern historical dolls, this is not the end. They're going to do plenty to try and extract our money from our wallets because they know that nostalgic millennials and, you know, older Gen Z will spend money. And also, sorry, not to exclude Gen X. I'm just not aware of as many Gen X collectors in the community. But that could just be my bad. So if it is, sorry, don't mean to overlook you. I always feel like the elder one, as the elder millennial in the group. But anyway, so yeah, I think we're still getting a ton as far as releases. I wouldn't fret at this point. They are making it like 40 days of experiences, which I do think is much healthier than doing 40 days of releases, because that would just, oh, that would send the FOMO into overdrive for a lot of people. And that was a big reason that I wanted to do this video, is I wanted to make sure that we got to talk about the FOMO of it all before all of these things actually come out, especially Daisy Davenport. So Girl of the Year is coming out in approximately 3 weeks. Her release is going to be around September 14th or 15th. The in-store event is scheduled for the 19th. Also, yeah, totally. I'm continuing to go back into my bathroom to double check my makeup because I can't see it in here. I have a new glasses prescription finally, but I need a new contact lens prescription badly. I do need a little bit more of this, unfortunately. So bronzer we go. By the way, I fell in love with these stick products when I was in college. I thought they were the coolest thing because, again, I don't drive because of my epilepsy. Like my seizures just aren't controlled enough for me to drive. And yeah, I'm like the original passenger princess, right? And thankfully, both my dad and my husband consider it a privilege to get to drive me, because otherwise I'm very stubborn and insist on doing everything for myself. Driving is literally the only thing that I can't do for myself. I mean, within like normal human, like I can't do surgery on myself, but you get what I mean. As far as my functional autonomy, driving is the one thing that I can't do. And both of them just consider it a privilege because I am so stubborn otherwise. Like, something needs to be fixed around the house. I'm not going to let anybody else do it. I'm going to pull out my drill and do it myself. So, anyway, but yeah, when my dad would drive me to school, I would, because we didn't live far from my university, um, I would do my makeup with like these stick products that I used to get from the Body Shop. When they stopped selling those, I was sorry, it's my childhood best friend texting me. It's nice when you've been friends for 30 years. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, I loved those stick products from the Body Shop. I have since heard, I don't shop there anymore. There's not one anywhere near me. But I've since heard that the Body Shop is decently problematic as far as its corporate structure. So I'm not recommending them. I'm just stating what college me did. So anyway, but this is Physicians Formula. I love the product, but when I opened it, it was broken. So I would say purchase at your own discretion. I will purchase this again because I really, really love it. But I don't know if it was just like a bad shipping thing or if it was a temperature issue. But as soon as I opened it, the ends fell out. What were we on? Oh, yeah. So the Daisy Davenport of it all. So Daisy's supposed to be releasing in the next 3 weeks. And I asked you guys over on the community tab if you wanted me to do a review of her. I was planning to get her regardless because I don't have a doll with her features. But additionally, it's going to be the 1 year anniversary of my channel. I thought that was a really cool way to celebrate by getting the Girl of the Year doll. And additionally, it's like, she's the doll that's coming out the year I started my channel. Like, I know Raquel was the doll for 2026, but this is, do you get what I'm saying? So anyway, I thought it would be cool that as I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary of the channel, to get the Girl of the Year doll to celebrate that. However, I asked you guys if you wanted me to get her and review her for you, and you overwhelmingly voted yes. I think it was like 96% of you voted yes. So thank you for voting. But I want you to know before I post that video that had you guys not wanted me to review her, I would have waited for a sale right alongside the rest of you. But because you guys did say that hearing a review from me would affect whether or not you were going to buy her, I want to help with that because I do intend to get her either way. I can, budget to pay more for her, but I just want it to be clear that I want you guys to wait for a sale or ask for her for the holidays or a birthday or something like that. Like, there is no reason to buy a non-collector doll from American Girl, like a non-limited edition doll from American Girl, for full price because they will go on sale. And oh, that was the thing that a lot of people were upset about is American Girl did a sale where they had the Peaches and Cream doll and the Collector Cinderella doll on clearance for 75% off. So they were $77 2 days ago and sold out. A lot of people were really upset with that. And yeah, I get it. That makes sense. So I'm sorry for the people who were disappointed by that. That really sucks. But generally speaking, for a non-collector doll, there's no reason to ever pay full price from American Girl. And that is a hill I'm willing to die on. At this point, I don't really like the range of like Truly Me's and whatnot that they have. I not because how do I explain? Like conceptually, I like the dolls, but I prefer the older American Girl of today and, My American Girl, things like that. I just like the old face molds better. That's me. I also prefer the clothes from that period. I don't like the clothes that they're coming out with now. They're very Barbified, and I love Barbie. Hello, always in pink. It's not what I'm looking for in my American Girl doll. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm just not into the current lineup, and the clothes keep getting more and more metallified. Like the clothes are now being made out of that shiny material, which means it's a higher density of plastic in the material. Like I miss the old cotton and wool pieces. And Mattel has the budget for that, but they're allocating things out differently because they want their shareholders to have more money. Don't come for me, Mattel. I'm just saying what's basically in reporting on you on the internet already and your statements. You're trying to increase stock returns and everything for your investors, and so you're turning into more of a licensing company and branding company than you are an actual toy manufacturer. That's on you, not on me for reporting it. Don't come for me. I asked for you guys to, send me questions and your opinions on what's been going on. One person said that they'd love to hear my theories on exactly why AG is releasing the Girl of the Year at this time of the year. It's because they're trying to get sales numbers for the end of one fiscal year and increase sales numbers at the beginning of the next fiscal year. So let me explain. In businesses, the fiscal year starts October 1st. It can actually be a little bit different depending on the line of business that you're in. When I was in music, the fiscal year started October 1st. So when new musicians were brought into audition for record labels like myself, it would be at the start of October. So that's why when my agent pulled me into Interscope back in college to audition for them, it was in October because that's when they're figuring out how they're going to be spending their money for the fiscal year. They want to figure out who they're basically figuring out, what their projects are and how to budget. So for Mattel, they work on that same fiscal schedule where the end of the fiscal year is the last day in September. So for 2026, the last day of the fiscal year, financial year, is the last day of September 2026. The first day of the fiscal year for 2027 is October 1st, 2026. So by releasing the Girl of the Year doll right before the end of one fiscal year, it allows them to count sales for both years because one is in quarter 4 for the last year and one is in quarter 1 for the next year. But also, I think it allows people to better plan for their holiday shopping. A lot of kids and adults even want to get a doll as soon as it releases. So waiting until, Christmas of that year can be difficult, or they might lose interest in that doll. But having all the hype for a new doll right before the holidays is very advantageous to both Mattel and to consumers. So I think it's just more of a surefire hit. Of course, that's not going to be the case with all of the dolls we saw that Summer McKinney did not go over well. I think a lot of that was the newness of this model of, releasing the Girl of the Year at a different time. I think part of it was her collection. She seemed like a doll we had already seen before in other forms. There are a lot of misses there. I still think she's a very cute doll, and I do have her. Based off of what I know of the market and buying trends and everything, that's why American Girl shifted from the January 1st release to the mid-September release so that they can report numbers for both years in 2 separate quarters while interest is really high, and they can also essentially prep people for buying the doll as a holiday purchase. All right. Another person said that they think that we should normalize not buying things right away and waiting for sales. I 100% agree. 100% agree. I have pretty strict self-imposed rules for sales, and I honestly have waited so long before that I have missed out on things entirely, but I'm okay with that. These are not needs, they are wants. And I make sure to remind myself of that. I don't need to have a new doll or a new outfit or whatever it might be. I'm really happy with the things that I already have. And getting something new is a bonus, but it's also a responsibility. It's something I have to take care of, I have to store, I have to make sure that I utilize it enough to really warrant the purchase in the first place. And for instance, I found I wasn't using the outfits enough, so I've stopped buying outfits from American Girl. I don't like the quality anymore. I don't like the style. And now that I figured out how to sew my own doll outfits, I'd rather do that because then I can make exactly what I want instead of settling for what they're offering. In general, I think that we should absolutely normalize waiting for sales. There's no reason to buy things up front. I'm just putting on a second bronzer because, again, I am extremely, extremely fair. Even the American Girl with the lightest skin tone is still tan next to me. Like, I don't go outside. This is actually why a lot of epileptics, including myself, have to take a vitamin D supplement, is because due to the sometimes insular nature of our existence, we're indoors a lot and don't actually get enough vitamin D. And it's a very important neurotransmitter, vitamin D3 especially. It made a big difference for me. But also, I live in a very snowy, wintry climate, and I need the extra vitamin D, even if I was more of an outdoorsy person. I love being outdoors, don't get me wrong. It's more because I work a lot. There are some days when I push off a video because I'm like, hey guys, I can't get out in time. What I mean by that is like 2 weeks ago, I stayed up till 6 a.m. editing to make sure that I got my video out on time. So if I'm saying I need extra time, it's because it's not work that I'm not willing to do, it's work that just needs more time than I actually have in a day. And again, the reason that I always wanted to work from home was one, because of my disability, but two, because I want to make sure that I could be very present for my family. And family always comes first for me. My husband and I, like, we split all the tasks. It's not like a traditional thing, if you get what I'm saying. There's always more time to work, but you only get so much time with your family. And that is absolutely the most important thing in the world to me. So, anyway, I digress. But when I found that I was continually staying up until 4 and 6 in the morning to finish editing my projects, because a video like this will maybe take me 3 to 5 hours to edit, but one of my video essays will take me anywhere from 20 to 60 hours to fully edit. And that doesn't include filming, that doesn't include research or writing or anything like that. So the Megan Maroney one, I think, is probably going to take closer to 60 hours to edit in total and like 2 weeks to film. I'm so far on my third week of writing and research. Back to Daisy Davenport. I don't want anybody to feel pressure to buy the Girl of the Year, to buy these holiday releases right away. We usually see these releases go to clearance. I understand if you're a parent and you're buying for your kid and you want to make sure that you have whatever you have under the tree or under the menorah, it's there. 100% understand you. But remember that these things don't generally sell out very quickly. They do hold pre-holiday sales and specials and whatnot. And for those of you who are just buying for yourselves, if you can hold off, please wait for the sales, because usually on Boxing Day, so the day after Christmas, and sometimes even on Christmas, they'll have really big clearances. My thinking is, if I really want something, it doesn't matter when I get it. I just want to get it at some point because I'll still use it. But if the idea is I need to have this outfit so that I can use it this year, then what about next year? Are you going to use it next year? Or is it just something that you needed for that year to show off on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media? So if you want something, it should be worth waiting for. That's my opinion. Again, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just a random person on the internet. But that's my shopping strategy. If I really, really want something, then it doesn't matter if I wait for it because it's something that I'm going to use multiple years in a row. Anyway, that's my soapbox. But yeah, so Daisy Davenport is coming out. Like, I have thoughts. I'm excited to get to review her for you guys. So I don't want to like give everything away, but I wish we were getting more diversity is basically what it comes down to. So spoilers if you haven't seen images and whatnot. I'm not going to post the images, but I will talk about some of the images that we've already seen. There is a shirt that has a 44 on it. We've also seen that in the illustration, and that's obviously supposed to be a nod to Molly. From what we know, Daisy's also going to Camp Again, where Molly went in her summer book. And, that's cute. I get it. It's trying to appeal to longtime fans and, again, maybe get kids interested in the historical line. But why couldn't we do that with a doll of color? And I think it's basically because, and this is something I'll go over in the Megan Maroney video too. That video is a lot. Honestly, it is somewhat about Megan, but it's mostly about Mattel, and the direction that they're taking right now. And it basically comes down to Mattel has a really fractured identity right now. American Girl's identity is very fractured at the moment, and they're making the things that are safe and that they have calculated out will have the best return on investment. And they're not investing a lot right now, honestly. Like, we're getting more and more plastic pieces. It's an issue. And not just because like the quality is going down, but plastic never goes away. So that's when you think about that, plastic never goes away, and they're replacing pieces that used to be made with wood or glass with more and more plastic. So it is disconcerting. I have problems with it, but again, I will get the doll and review her for you. Like I said, I was already planning to get her for myself because I think that the combination of features is really, really cute, and it's not something that I have in my collection. And I think that'd be fun. And I want to get the girl who kind of represented the 1 year anniversary of my channel, which is also really, really cool because I wanted to have a channel for so, so, so long. I don't know if you saw it over on my Instagram, but I actually posted a screenshot of the very first YouTube video that I tried to post back in like 2021. And yeah, it's a sad looking image because I was like so overworked and overstressed from being in LA, and I was just super gaunt and unhealthy. And yeah, anyway, I'm glad to be healthier now. Getting your eating disorder treated will do wonders for a girl or guy, doesn't, or they, them, anyone. Basically, fuel your body well, please. Thank you. Anyway, I digress once again because I'm really good at that. So yeah, Daisy Davenport's coming out. Please don't like give into the FOMO. If you don't want to get her, don't get her. If you're starting to feel pressured, you can always look at her, add her to your cart, and then leave her there. Like, that's what I do most of the time. I love window shopping online. I love just adding things to my cart and then walking away. Please don't do that to a small business because that can mess up their inventory. So I've had that happen with my crochet pieces before, where people have added them to their cart and then just left them there. It's very mentally taxing when you make things by hand to have people just put things in a cart and then walk away because you're hoping that's a sale, but you don't know. But with big companies, go for it. With American Girl, go for it. With Amazon, if you shop Amazon, go for it. Amazon is a necessary evil in my life because I don't drive and we live in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, but yeah, feel free to do window shopping. Look at other people's reviews. Come to the channel, check out my review when I get her. Check out other people's reviews, but please don't feel like you have to get the thing. When I first started collecting American Girl, there were dolls that I got because I wanted to have a well-rounded collection that I never ended up really bonding with. And that was a bummer. It was, I wanted my collection to be more well-rounded, and instead of like searching out dolls that would have filled that spot in my collection naturally that I just fell in love with, I went with more of like community recommendations at the time. And that wasn't a good way for me to do it. I love the collection that I have, but I would have rather have either spread out those purchases or waited till I found like the perfect doll for myself, if that makes sense. So I've been on the FOMO-y side of the American Girl doll community, and that can be a difficult spot to be in, but just know that like your identity doesn't exist in a brand regardless of what you consume, and that can be hard when you're in a community, right? I was telling someone the other day that like I actually have never felt like I'm a part of the American Girl community. And that might sound weird because I make these videos and I post about it and whatnot on socials. But I see that a lot of people like American Girl is part of their identity as a person. And identity through consumerism is never something that I've really identified with. Like, I honestly don't understand that experience. And that's not talking down. That's just, it's an experience I don't understand. I see how upset people get about changes in the community as they've happened. And it seems like people take it as like a personal attack. You know, the company is changing, therefore I am invalidated as a person who loves the way things used to be. And that's not being invalidated as a human. I know it can feel that way, but that's not what it is. It's just the younger generation is different. And I think we have to accept that we're not the target demographic for these things. We're the target demographic to pay for them, but these things aren't actually made for us. And it is okay to accept that fact. Um, and it is important that, like, I remember asking myself this about a year ago, around the time that I was starting the channel, that if American Girl closed today, how would that affect me? It wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't make new release videos, obviously, but I also don't usually make new release videos. Um, I just want to get to talk about these things before they actually happen so we can talk about denying our FOMO and things like that. Yeah, I asked myself, if American Girl closed today, how would that change things for me? It wouldn't. The important thing is you love the things you already have. And if the company closes, that doesn't change your relationship with the things that you already own. Like, you can still take pictures of your dolls. You can still cuddle up on the couch with the doll. You can still get a doll dressed or do its hair or whatever you want. The company closing would just mean that you don't have access to new releases, but there's still a whole wide world of existing product out there on the secondhand market. So I think for a lot of folks, especially people who grew up with the brand, they identify as an American Girl person. I just want to encourage people to know who they are outside of what they consume. Like, if I, and if you guys have seen my office tour, you know, I have a lot of things that I've collected, and almost all of them are secondhand because I've been collecting since I was a little kid. But if I had to pack up and give away all of my things tomorrow, I could do that. I'd be sad because for me, those things hold memories, but I'd still be me, and that's okay. So, you know, the idea that people are feeling like personally attacked over decisions that the company is making, I think is a bit much. And we need to think about why we're responding that way. Because, again, you are you outside of what you consume. And I think that's a big problem that we're having in general. Like, people are no longer defining themselves by their interests. They're defining themselves by TikTok trends. They're defining themselves by micro trends and by what they purchase. I'm an aloe girly. I'm a Victoria's Secret girly. I'm doing coastal preppy. Whatever it is, it's like those things are so fleeting. Like, you have to know who you are all the way inside here before purchasing things even make sense. I mean, honestly, this is the first time that I've ever been part of a community where things are actively happening. Like, growing up, I collected things that were already out of production. I was collecting Generation 1 My Little Ponies, and I was doing it alone. There was no one else who was collecting Generation 1 My Little Ponies that I knew of. Like, I was doing this before the internet. Yes, there was such a time. I was doing this before the internet, and I did it because it made me happy. And that was it. It made me as a person happy to collect these vintage toys. And I didn't know anyone else who was doing it, but my family supported that when we went to the thrift store on the weekends, I would go look for My Little Ponies. I'd look for Care Bears or Rainbow Bright dolls that were no longer in production. So this is the first time that I am collecting alongside other people as the releases are happening. And it's kind of weird. And I think that's why my opinion tends to vary so much from a lot of other collectors, is because I'm used to doing this by myself. I'm used to doing this apart from anyone else. I've always collected just because I like it and I enjoy it and I think it's a lot of fun. And I love learning about the history of things and the storytelling and all of that. I love learning about the marketing tactics and the way design choices are made. That kind of stuff is really fascinating to me. And then out of all of that, I get this cute little piece of art. It's so cool. So I think in general, that's why I always feel like I'm on the outside of the community, is because I did this alone for so long and I don't find identity through what I purchase, being someone who is actively interested in the history of these things and the stories surrounding them and the politics surrounding them and the different pop cultural points that help to round out these collections and help designers make decisions and marketers make decisions. That's the stuff that really intrigues me about these different lines. And it's not got to have the new thing. This is like the first time in my life I'm collecting something that's new, and the quality isn't really there anymore, so I'm looking at the old stuff again. Anyway, so that's my big soapbox. My makeup is now done. I would never leave the house looking like this. I'm gonna blend out that just a tiny bit more. Let me go check. So yeah, I would never leave the house looking like this. If you do, that's fine. I just don't like much makeup on at all. It makes me feel gross. And it also feels like work. The first time that I ever wore a lot of makeup at all was for modeling and for music. So it feels like work to me to this day. So I put on a bunch of makeup, especially bronzer, and that's basically my work uniform, right? That's been my work uniform for over 20 years. So, anyway, I digress. But yeah, so the long story short about this conversation is holiday releases are coming out. Please only get them if you actually enjoy them. And if you can logistically wait for a sale, like it's not a gift for someone else, it's just for you, please wait for the sale because it will come. Some items do sell out from the holiday collections as you get closer and closer to the end of December, but oftentimes a large portion of that inventory does end up in the clearance section. If you go and look at the clearance section on American Girl today, you will still see tons of items from past releases. I don't know if people don't look at that section often enough. That's always like the first place that I go on the American Girl website is to the clearance section. So Girl of the Year is coming out. She will be out again, I think September 14th or 15th, and then her release events at the stores are September 19th. I will get her as soon as I am able. I will, because I want you guys to have a review as soon as you can. Maybe we'll do another video like this. We won't do, a highly produced one. We'll just sit down and chat and open a doll. Let me know if that's what you want. If you want more of a highly produced video, I can do that too. It just might have a longer turnaround. But I want you guys to have the review because, again, you did ask for it. My opinions, you can in fact wait for her logistically. Please wait if you want to get her. I am getting her as soon as I can to do that review for you guys because you specifically asked for it. I forgot to do my eyeshadow. It's not really shadow, it's just shimmer. I love shimmer. So one thing, and sorry for the changing light, but I'm just using natural light today. My filming lights are downstairs. So my husband and I did purchase the K-pop Demon Hunter dolls in January. Originally, I mean, we purchased them because we wanted them. I had extra doll money set aside, so it was within budget. I didn't purchase anything at the holiday season from American Girl. We purchased Elfie last year. Like that was my big gift. My husband made sure that I got an Elfie, which was so sweet of him. But yeah, so I had extra doll money aside. I wanted to make sure that I got them as soon as possible because I figured I was one of probably few people who legitimately wanted all three, but then could also review them for you guys because it was supposed to be a Playline release. And now it's not coming to stores. My original intention as someone who really, really wanted those dolls and has a channel. So my plan was to review them for you guys so that you could figure out whether or not you actually wanted to purchase them because I knew that we wanted them. But for people who are more on the fence, I wanted to be able to like look at them for you up close, give you an honest opinion. Because again, I have no relationship with American Girl. I can say whatever I want. And I'm going to tell you whether or not I actually think something is good quality. So I hope that's clear. Whenever I tell you about something, I'm going to tell you what I actually think. Like, I know I'm never getting a partnership with American Girl. They don't want someone as unfiltered as myself. Like, I mean, I don't mean unfiltered as in like, I don't practice proper decorum, but I'm just very honest because honesty is like one of the most important things in the world to me. So if I legitimately like something, I will tell you. But if I don't like it, I'm also going to let you know that. If you don't believe me, go check out my Elfie review. But now that the K-pop Demon Hunter dolls aren't going to be available in store, do you guys want a video? I figure like these could potentially be like some of the rarest dolls that American Girl ever released because they were canceled before they even got to be released. So it could be like a cool thing to look at historically. I don't know. But I think I'm still gonna do a video about them basically for that purpose, and hopefully This is going to sound weird. Hopefully the quality isn't that good so I can tell you honestly that you didn't miss out. I'll love the dolls regardless. Like, I'm really excited about them. I'm okay with things not totally being to my quality because I'm okay like making my own things for them. Like, I'm already planning to make different outfits for them. Let me know. So I just want to put it out there that I did purchase those dolls. The intention was I really, really wanted them. My husband really, really wanted them. And, I just figured it'll help people who aren't sure about whether or not to get them. They can have a review of all three, it'll be comprehensive, and then that'll help people decide what they want to do. But now they're not even coming out. I was deep diving on Reddit yesterday and came across some information, well, like community information, that there is some level of speculation that American Girl was only essentially allowed per the licensing agreement to make a certain quantity of dolls, and that those were already essentially that quantity was already fulfilled within the pre-order, so that maybe they actually got more orders than they were anticipating. Another question is Netflix is actively being sued by a band with the name Demon Hunter. And it's also a question as to whether or not that lawsuit is affecting some of the licensing agreements. I don't know why that would only affect selective licensing agreements, but who knows? The way they write up those licensing agreements, beyond my pay grade. I already did my hair this morning because for me, doing my hair is just putting water in it and then some mousse because I have very curly hair. And this time of year, that's all I have to do my hair. But in a couple months when I have to start running the heater, then this is all going to turn to frizz and I'm going to have to start flat ironing again. I hope you had fun. If you want me to do more videos in this style, please let me know. Another reason that I want to do this video is because I just don't think enough people of varying ages show their faces on the internet and are honest about what they look like and what their process is and things like that. I didn't have any role models growing up in my personal life who modeled natural aging. As someone with a face and a platform and a background in entertainment who went through all of those things, I think if I can help other people feel more comfortable, to use the Ariana Grande verbiage, being a human with a body, I want to help. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get off that soapbox. That's an important soapbox to me, though. If you guys want more videos done in this format, let me know. This was a lot of fun. I'm sorry that I had to kind of troubleshoot some things with the lighting, and I was getting used to the fact that I was talking about other things while I was doing something else, which is a struggle with ADHD. So yeah. Oh, wait, before we go, I said that I don't do doll giveaways, but I am doing another giveaway for the channel. That is kind of, it is American Girl related. It's just not a doll. Okay, so I have teased a couple upcoming videos for the channel, and one of them is about Bath and Body Works, because American Girl did a collab with Bath and Body Works back in the 2000s, and as an avid Bath and Body Works lover, I go through probably 4 products a month, but I buy them on sale. Shop sales, the semi-annual sale is important. I basically buy things in bulk and then I have things on a schedule so that I have to use some things up before I use something that's new. It's a whole process, but please don't hoard beauty products because they will expire. Buy something if you're going to use it. If you're not going to use it, please don't buy it. Okay, that's the spiel there. But I love Bath and Body Works. I have pretty bad contact dermatitis, and Bath and Body Works newer formulations don't bother me. Like, I don't react to them, which is fantastic. So now I get to play around with scents and stuff. So anyway, I digress once again. But the Bath and Body Works collab from the 2000s, I thought that was such a cool thing to get to discuss, and like American Girls, narrative surrounding girls and image and health and beauty and all of that. So anyway, as part of that video, I'm doing a giveaway. Let me show you what I got. So we have, okay. So basically, I went to Bath and Body Works. It's not anywhere near me, but I went. And I got this scent because it was the closest that they had to the perfume that they released in the early 2000s in collaboration with American Girl. So I got that collection. And then these are postcards. It's a set of 5 or 6. It's still sealed. That were part of the whole American Girl Bath and Body Works collab, and they have different little affirmations on them. How adorable is that? I didn't I thought about actually getting my hands on an old bottle of the perfume, but perfumes and body products, again, they expire. I didn't want to give away something that was potentially expired and would cause, a reaction for anyone. So I got I got the available scent that smells the closest to that original perfume. And then we're also going to be giving this away. So I have like a little gift wrap set that I got from Bath and Body Works. If I find anything else that's like relevant to the collab that will not expire, I'll throw that in here too. I think that video is coming out in October. So yeah, anyway, I'm excited about that. I actually have a set of those cards myself, and I like change out the little affirmations and put them around, and they're just cute. But I thought that that was an appropriate giveaway to do, because then essentially people who love the nostalgia but aren't into the dolls, this might be something that they're into, or if you really want, the postcards, whatever. So that'll be a subscriber giveaway. So just make sure that you're subscribed. And on that note, please double check that you're subscribed to the channel. I was looking at my analytics, and it actually turns out that 60% of my regular viewers, a regular viewer by YouTube's definition, is someone who has watched your channel for 5 months. So 60% of my regular viewers, the people who have watched me for the last 5 months, aren't subscribed. I actually found out the other day, Ray Like Sunshine, who is one of my favorite commentary YouTubers, I've been watching him and I wasn't subscribed. I had no idea because the algorithm was actively feeding me his videos. I didn't realize that I hadn't subscribed at any point. So if you would please just double check that you're actually subscribed to the channel. Again, subscribing, sharing, commenting, liking, hyping on mobile helps so much because it tells YouTube that it's a quality video, it's something worth watching, and then it pushes out to more people. So anyway, thank you for all the help. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hanging out. Again, if you want more videos done in this format, please let me know. I'm still working, like I said, on the Megan Maroney collab video. I don't know that that's going to be out next week. Moving forward into year 2 of the channel, I am going to be going from a weekly upload to uploading every 2 weeks, just so that I have more time built into my schedule to work on both my videos and my writing and other projects. So yeah, there's always a lot going on in this house, but I promise I'm putting in like 40 to 60 hours a week on YouTube every week. If I can't get something out, it's just because it requires more time than that. And it's just the classic video essay creep. It's what happens as you get more adept with editing and writing and everything. Essentially, you realize that you can do more things and you get excited about the process. If you like making videos like I do, then you just naturally get excited about the process and want to do more. So it means at the end of the day, you guys have a better product. It's just going to be a better product every 2 weeks instead of a standard, maybe slightly subpar product once a week. So, and I get to sleep. Yay!